What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another predicted lineup. It is FA Cup weekend and we host Portsmouth at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. 12:30 kickoff tomorrow, and it's one that I'm very much looking forward to. Unfortunately, Antonio Conte couldn't take the press conference today after the sad news of Gianluca Vialli passing away today. May he rest in peace. Stellini took the press conference today. He's talking of the team news. He didn't give us much specifics, but what is the team news?
So, there's no suspensions this time. There are only injuries, and those injuries are Rodrigo Bentancur, Dejan Kulusevski, Lucas Moura, Richarlison. All forwards. All
forwards, exactly, which makes it a very hard task to predict this lineup in terms of who is going to play in the front line. Stellini did say in the press conference that he is hoping to recover a few of those players during the week. But in terms of this game, we're going for a 3-4-3 formation. And in goal, we're going to give the nod to Fraser Forster. He did have the nod in the Carabao Cup game. And obviously the first game back in the Premier League against Brentford. So we think in the FA Cup against Portsmouth, it will be Fraser Forster.
Yeah, and I think this will be his first home game, won't it? I mean, I can't remember if he played against Nice at all. I can't remember specifically if he played, but yeah.
He did play against Nice, yeah.
Oh, there we go. But this will be in front of a full house. So yeah, be good to see him. And we knew, or he knew when he was coming, it was cup games really, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
Barring injuries. So yeah, Fraser Forster.
Now, the next position is a very interesting one. We've got three players to pick from: Emerson Royal, Matt Doherty and Jed Spence. We're siding with Jed Spence because, like, if he doesn't play in this game, then when the hell is he going to play? But it very well could easily be Emerson. I feel like Matt Doherty will be rested for this one. It's a toss-up between Spence and Emerson, but we are going to side with Spence.
Yeah, I think if there's one name on the team sheet, I hope we get right. If there's only one, let's hope it's this one, because we all want to see him. And like you said, if he doesn't get picked in this one, it's like, well, what the hell was this transfer all about? And when is he going to get his minutes? So if there is one that we get right, please, God, let it be that one.
Yeah, so Jed Spence, right wing back. Right centre back, hoping Cuti Romero will get a rest for this one. So we're going to put in Japhet Tanganga. Could very well easily be Davinson Sanchez as well, but we are going to side with Tanganga because he came out the team after Brentford, and Conte did allude to him needing minutes.
Yeah, I think as well that obviously he needs minutes, and obviously it's a perfect time if it's to be that he could be one of the ones going out on loan. Obviously Milan fell short in the summer, so maybe it's shop window time as well to put him out and about there. Hopefully Pompey don't give him as much trouble as Ivan Toney did, but it'd be good to see him get a few minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. In the middle, we're going to stick with Eric Dyer. He usually is a consistent figure in the middle there, no matter what competition it is. There is a slight chance Sanchez could play there, but I couldn't really see him putting Sanchez in the middle of a back three, so we've sided with Dyer.
Yeah, and I think we're going to need a bit of experience there. If it's Spence and Tanganga, you're going to need some experience. And whatever you do want to say about Eric Dyer, he has got the experience. Yeah,
most definitely. Left side of the centre-back, I think this is probably the easiest one of the back three. Ben Davis, I think, is going to slot straight back in after Clement Longley being given the nod in the last game.
Yeah, it's easier said than done. But Longley seems, like you said earlier, to be the one he wants in the Premiership right now. So, yeah, Ben Davis.
And then to make up that back five, at the left wing back, I think Perisic, again, will be given a rest for this one, and Ryan Sessegnon will step in.
Yep, and he needs to have a good performance, doesn't he? So this is prime time for him to do it. And yeah, Perisic needs a rest. Obviously, his age is a factor, and North London derby coming up, we need the king of assists.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fit and firing, so have a rest.
Yeah, very true. And if Sessegnon doesn't have a good game against Portsmouth tomorrow, I dread to think what the future lies for him.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried, and I've come on this channel many a time and said, you know what? I think there's a player there. I think there's a player there. But after what we saw at Nottingham Forest, any kind of faith I had was vanished, and he needs to try and restore it. And a lot of people are hit and miss with him. He's got to make an impression this game, so hopefully he will.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were hit and miss with him, but I think now the majority is miss with him, to be honest, because he just hasn't progressed. Nope. He just hasn't progressed. That's the sad truth of it. But he still is very young. People forget how young he actually is. What, 22, 23?
He's something like that. I think maybe more than 23 now, I think. He blazed onto the scene with Fulham, didn't he? And
at 16.
I thought after that spell at Hertha Berlin, where Jose was like, play him in this position, that's the whole reason he went there, we would really see him kick on. And haven't really seen it. And hopefully he will come good. But I have gone from one of the hits to the miss.
Yeah, I think it was Hoffenheim actually. But
Hoffenheim,
anyway,
that's right.
But let's run through that back line with you guys one more time. It's Fraser Forster in goal, right wing back Jed Spence, left wing back Ryan Sessegnon, and a back three of Tanganga, Dyer and Davis. Let's move on to the midfield, and the first midfielder we are going to be talking about is Yves Bissouma. Obviously came out the side against Palace because of suspension. Hasn't really done too well in the Spurs shirt as yet. As for signing, he doesn't seem as adept to a middle two as he does to a middle three, but hopefully against Portsmouth he can kind of kickstart things tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about Sessegnon, how big it is for him to put in a performance. I think it's just the same with Bissouma. Even though he's been here a shorter time, we know what this guy can do. We really do. And when he's come on off the bench, he has shown it on times just how important he can be to this team. But in a two, he has struggled. And tomorrow, he's got to grab this opportunity if it is him.
Yeah, absolutely. And then alongside him, we're going to go with Pape Matar Sarr. Pape has been, since the World Cup has come back, since football's come back after the World Cup, he's had two really good cameos in the 2-0 loss against Aston Villa and coming on in the 4-0 win against Crystal Palace. And I'm pretty certain he's going to start. The only one I'm not sure about if it's going to be alongside Skip or Bissouma. We did side with Bissouma, but I think Sarr is definitely going to start tomorrow.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and it just goes to show he's come back. Conte has said good things about him. He came back early, and it shows if you're putting in the work and you're impressing, he will give you your opportunity. And this is an ideal time to bring it in, isn't it? We were thinking, you said yesterday that their thoughts that he's ahead of Bissouma in the pecking order for Conte. Well, now he's got a real opportunity to grab.
Yeah, it's interesting what he was saying about Sars Delaney in the press conference. He said that, you know, he's doing really well. They've worked really hard with him in terms of his positional sense and how to work as a midfielder in a two, in a Conte system. But he also said there's a pecking order, the hierarchy of midfielders at Spurs, and he needs to respect that. What do you think he means by that? Is he talking about just the likes of Højbjerg and Bentancur being above him, or is he talking about him being bottom of the pecking order right now?
It's hard to say. I mean, it's fairly obvious that the two main ones, when everyone's fit and ready and raring to go, it's Højbjerg and Bentancur as we speak. There's no two ways about it. I think maybe it's a little bit, he's been getting the compliments and now it's time to put his feet on the ground and not let him get above his station and not get to his head. So it's a message that's been sent out, but like you said, we can't argue when it's Bissouma and Bentancur and Højbjerg are fit and raring to go. There's no doubt there's a pecking order in there at the top.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's Sarr and Bissouma we're going for in the middle. Right-hand side of the attack, Kulusevski out, Mora out. Brian Hill started there the last couple of games, and we're giving him the nod once again after a really good second-half display at Aston Villa. Yeah,
I mean, if we look at this team right now, if there's one player that you can say has got bags of energy and doesn't really need a rest, it's a very young, energetic Brian Hill. And he has warranted his inclusion in this team. It's not just, Kulusevski's injured, we've got no one there. He actually made a case for him to be thought about, and it's another one with an opportunity to grab, isn't it? If he can just build on what he did against Palace, we might start seeing the develop of a very good player.
Yeah, really true. So that's Brian Hill on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, these two next picks are going to be fairly easy to predict, to be honest, with the injuries that we do have. So we've gone for Heung-min Son on the left, and after that goal, I mean, he's got to take this game by the scruff of the neck, doesn't he?
He has. I mean, we thought after Leicester, here we go. And then obviously the form went reverted back to type, got his goal in Europe, form reverted back to type, and now he's got that away goal, and it's time to kick on from there and start one of those. Because one thing we do know, if he gets a couple of goals in a couple of games, he is a very streaky player with goals, and his streaks last a long time.
Yeah.
So if we can get him in the goals in consecutive games, what kind of confidence will that be going into NLD?
Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then up top, we are going to side with Harry Kane, seeing as there's literally no other options for us. Richarlison is out, Kulusevski is out, Mora is out, like I said before. So Harry Kane has to play, but hopefully we can end this game fairly early and take him off with about half an hour to go or something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, with an hour to go. I mean, listen, I was undecided with Kane when we were doing the pre-match, but listen, right now, any game you go to, you could be on the verge of seeing history. And obviously we'll both be there, as will lots of others. And what a thing to speak about for the rest of your life, that I was there when Harry Kane equalled or took over Jimmy Greaves, and he's got to be licking his lips at this opponent.
And this could be a record, really, that could stand till the day we die.
Yeah. Yeah.
Literally.
I mean, Jimmy Greaves, what's it been now? 50-odd years with that title? Yes. If I live to 98, even if it did get broken again, I
Dane
probably
Scarlett
won't remember
will break it, won't
Yeah,
he?
Dane Scarlett, I won't remember. At 98 years old, I might not remember. But it could be history. And like I said, a lot of this with the front line, you could see when we started with the injury list, it kind of is picking itself, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the front line anyway. But let's run through that predicted lineup with you guys one more time. In goal, Fraser Forster. Right centre-back, Japhet Tanganga. In the middle, Eric Dyer. On the left, Ben Davis. Left wing-back, Ryan Seston. Right wing-back, Jed Spence. A middle two of Yves Bissouma and Pape Matar. Heung-min Son and Brian Hill supporting Harry Kane. If this is the lineup, what is your score prediction?
Not moving from it 3-1.
3-1. And is Harry Kane going to break the record?
I knew that question was coming. I knew that question was coming.
So it's 2 to equal and 3 to...
Yeah, I'm going to say equal.
I'm gonna go with you exactly with that. I'm going to go 3-1 and Kane to equal the record as well, and Heung-min Son to get on the score sheet as well. So that is our predicted lineup. That is our predicted score lines. Let me know in the comment section below what your predicted lineup is and what your predicted scoreline is. Me and Brian will be in the stadium tomorrow, getting you all the footage with Barry and Ashmatic here in the studio for the watch along. So tune into that. It promises to be a great show, and we'll see you all very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.